I keep forgetting how dark it gets. Hold on. Oh, just screw it. Just screw it, whatever. Oh, God, I gotta get ready for work. I was just listening to Joy Sparkle BS, and she brought up her health issues, and I believe she said she's got fibromyalgia. Um, Here's the thing with fibromyalgia. It's considered an invisible illness, and most people that have it get labeled as hypochondriacs for years before doctors will take them seriously. At least that was my personal experience with it. I kept going to the doctor. I started having symptoms in my 20s, shortly after my second child was born. And I kept going to the doctor because I was tired all the time. And my back was hurting all the time. Well, I'm only 5 foot tall. And at the time, I was extremely overweight. Like, after I delivered my son, I weighed like 167 pounds. So, I mean, he was, for me, a big boy. So they kind of chucked it off to the pregnancy and all that. And I would have good days where I could get out of bed. I mean, I ran in-home daycare and, you know, and well, that was successful. That's all I did. But then my parents started losing daycare assistants, so they couldn't work or whatever. And so I had to go back to work. So I was still like licensed to do daycare, and I still had a couple of kids during the day. But then I worked at night to try to make ends meet. And because I was doing all that, they thought, you know, I wasn't really sick. But if you have like priorities, like making sure your kids are fed and your bills are paid, you kind of have to force yourself to do those things, to go to work. I couldn't get disability because I was working, but I couldn't afford not to work because I had medical bills to pay. So I was like stuck in this catch-22. And by the time I finally got diagnosed, I mean, like I said, it took me 10 years to find a doctor that I thought would listen to me. And when I finally got diagnosed with fibromyalgia, he also diagnosed me with depression, which I had been diagnosed with depression in my teens anyway. Anxiety, ADHD, insomnia, all that, which are all like symptoms of fibromyalgia. So then my insurance wouldn't cover physical therapy, so I couldn't afford physical therapy. And so instead, he put me on these prescription medications. And honestly, for me, the prescription medications didn't help at all. They made my depression like a million times worse. Like, I was contemplating how to kill myself almost every day, but I wanted to do it in such a way that my kids wouldn't know I killed myself. I hated going to work. Like, I mean, most people don't really want to go to work. You love your weekends, and I get that. But, like, it took everything for me to go to work. And then, you know, I was not a nice person to work with. My mental health deteriorated while I was on the anti-anxiety and antidepressants. And then my physical health deteriorated from the side effects from all the medications that you ultimately get put on. I had these muscle spasms in my arms and legs. Like, my whole arm would just like spaz out for no reason. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I was accused of throwing things at people because my arm would just spaz out and whatever was in my hand would just go flying. My legs would spaz out and like I would like almost fall. My insomnia got worse. You already don't sleep well with fibro because it hurts you to rest. And then, of course, it hurts you to move a lot. So, you know, that's another thing. Like, I found if I sleep more than 6 hours at a time, it kind of agitates the fibro more. So I have to watch how long I sleep. But I know that I have to sleep. So then there's days I feel like I should sleep more because I'm so tired because I have chronic fatigue, which goes with fibro. But my point is there's all this going on when you have fibromyalgia. And sometimes you have good days. I had good days where I could get out of bed and I was in a good mood and everything. And my good days started happening more frequently when I started getting off the prescription medications. The 3 years I was on prescription medications, I hardly ever had good days. Everybody was walking on eggshells around me. I was like walking on eggshells because I never knew when I was going to have like a side effect. Like the sleeping medications, I was eating in my sleep. One time I woke up in my best friend's car. I had no idea how I got there. I was in the driver's seat, so hopefully, I mean, there were no keys on me, so I don't think I drove the car. But that's one of the known side effects of that prescription sleeping medication is to do things while you're sleeping. You have no idea you've done them. Like my friend, like I was staying with her because my mental status was so out of whack that I ended up leaving my husband and my kids and staying with her and her family. And she's like, dude, you were in the kitchen just like eating out of the fridge last night, and I had to like walk you back up to your room, whatever. So the prescription drugs don't really help. And the pain pills help for like a little while, but then you like build up a tolerance. When you have my biggest complaint is the pain. I don't want to be in pain. So, but like the opiates they put you on for me would work like for like a month or two, and then they wouldn't work anymore. Which is how we started adding other types of pain medications to my regimen before he would bump me up to a stronger narcotic. It's this vicious cycle, and it's very frustrating when you see somebody, whether you know them or not, get attacked and be told that they're faking an illness, because we're not faking fibromyalgia. But yes, we do have good days where we get up and we do things. I have good days where I get up by choice and do things by choice. But 90% of my days, I get out of bed because I have to, not because I want to. And just because you have some good days does not mean that you're not sick. And if you do a whole lot of stuff while you're having a good day, you're doing those things because you don't know. You literally don't know when your next good day is going to happen. So that is the point of this rant. I just want to get out there. Fibromyalgia is real. We do have it. And just because somebody is having a good day, or they have 2 or 3 good days, or even a whole week, does not mean they're faking their illness when they are sick again, whether it be with fibromyalgia or any other autoimmune disease. And that was my point, because people are attacking somebody and saying she's faking it because she has good days or because she's able to do things. And like I said, with fibromyalgia, a lot of times you do things because you have to. You just know, I have to go to work. I have to make dinner. I have to, It's not because you want to. You just know you have to, and that's just the way it is. So, anyway, cool. Thanks for listening, guys. Later days.